Okay. It is April 6th, 2019. It is Saturday in the middle of the day. Just took a nap after getting done with work. I've been wanting to make this one for a while. I've just been lagging on this fucking podcast in general, but I wanted to do an episode analyzing George Ferido. Shouts out to George Ferido's the style of comedy, and just who he is as a person. When it comes to the buddy system, people have at this point, I think it's fair to say that I've become the face of it. But I don't think people realize what George does, how much work he does, and how important he is, like how integral he is to how the buddy system works. And I know that partially he likes that, he would prefer that. Um, but it's something that it actually kind of frustrates me when people don't give him his credit. Whoever listens, like really, the buddy system does not work without George. It really doesn't. Like, I think I've said it a million times. I'll keep fucking saying it. I'm the big ideas guy. I'm the guy who's like, hey, let's do this nearly impossible thing. And then George is the only reason. Not George is not the only reason. There's Stephanie Michelle. There's Archie. There's other people. But like in terms of George and how this whole thing started, George is a main reason for why it even remotely works. But either way, I watched two sets of George's and I just wrote scribbles. And to be fair, those sets were during open mics and they were both rough mics. But I'm just gonna read what I wrote. I wrote high energy, which is true. He goes out there and he immediately gets into it. Like unless he's trying to reset the room, he generally jumps right into it. There's no meandering around. And I know that a big part of that is his ideology behind not cutting the fat, behind word economy, which I've recently adopted to my style as well. Like he's all about word economy, and so for him, it feels like he jumps in and he wants you to pay attention immediately. He's also very quick. He's quick-witted, and then for the second one, I also wrote quick in his roasting. Very quick. I wish I understood his thought process, and I know he won't explain it because he's George, but he's very quick. Like, and it's what's interesting is it's a self-deprecating type of quick. He has this particular type of joke, and I don't even know if we're talking about somebody bombing or somebody being hacky or somebody whatever. He has this way of flipping it to where the joke is now, oh, we were talking about him, but it doesn't feel like he is lowering his status in the conversation. And status is really important, especially in stand-up comedy. Like you can be self-deprecating, but you still need to be higher status than the audience. The audience still needs to respect you. If they don't respect you, then they're gonna eventually stop listening, no matter how self-deprecating you are. So I don't know how he does it exactly. Good, my phone keeps going off. I don't know how he does it. I'm trying to figure that out. But he's able to use self-deprecation while also maintaining high status. So I gotta analyze that more. He definitely has a more, let's see. I wrote he has a more classic style. I don't know what I meant by that. So I'm just gonna move forward. I wrote self-deprecating, disarming. He's very disarming. Like people also don't realize. No, he gets annoying when I talk about this. Never mind. But he's just very disarming. Like he gets on stage and he makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like it feels lighthearted. It doesn't feel threatening at all. It's not like, comedians have this fantasy about being fucking Andrew Dice Clay and Sam Kinison and what's his name? Fuck. Not Doug Stanhope, but also Doug Stanhope-esque. Bill Hicks. People have a lot of comics have this desire to be like that, to be gritty and badass or whatever. And George doesn't seem to fall into that at all. It's very lighthearted. It's very like, I want to entertain you. I want everyone to have fun with my jokes, with my material. And he's similar to Trevor Noah in that way. I've said this before to him as well. Trevor Noah also has this disarming but biting quickness. Like when you think of Jimmy Carr. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We're going on pause. Okay. Yeah, when you listen to Jimmy Carr, there's this quickness. There's this like he's got you in his crosshairs type of quickness. It feels Jimmy Carr feels like a well-trained sniper. Like the guy in the guy in Saving Private Ryan, the bell tie, he like kisses his rosary and then he fucking shoots your brain out. Like he shoots a bullet through another guy's scope into his skull. Like that's what Jimmy Carr feels like. And that is not what Trevor Noah or George is. It more is more like playing a fun game of fucking table tennis. Someone lobs like the ball to you, and then George is able to knock the ball right back, and it feels fun. But he also has the ability to really slam the ball and make it go way past you. And even when he does that, it's not like Jimmy Carr. It's not like a sniper. It's not trying to kill anybody. It does still feel playful. It still feels like this is a game. He just won the game, and he's not. I feel like I can see when he's being a little more cynical or aggressive. I don't know if everybody can tell the difference. Like, I think people have this misconception about George, and they think he is a bit of an asshole. I was about to say, they think he's an asshole, but he is a bit of an asshole. But in not in the way people assume. I feel like a battered wife. No, he's a good guy. I promise he's a good person. He doesn't. He's just they're love taps. No, but when he does knock the ball, it still, even when it has that aggression to it, it doesn't feel murderous, if that makes any sense at all. Fire truck very aware of the room. Okay, last time he was performing, a fire truck went by and he had to just wait. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of newer comics get distracted by the room. And I think there's a difference between being distracted by the room and being present in the room. And George is very present. He, something happens, something going on. He comments on it, but he doesn't let it take over the set. Like I'll see comics get on stage and like, I don't know, if a fire truck goes by, now the next 3 minutes is 2 to 3 minutes is the fire truck went by and it distracted me. I can't think of my material because of the fire truck. Well, the fire truck was loud. Go talk about the fire truck, and not like jokes, just acknowledging that the fire truck went by and now they're thrown off. And I think that if you want to watch somebody, if you're a comedian in the IE and you want to work on being present in the room, I'd suggest watching George and watching how he handles distractions. Fast, but it seems to keep the energy up. It's a little. His set that I was writing about was at Worthington's. I think it was last Monday, and he was moving quickly. He was moving much faster than he normally would, but I think he was just trying to keep the energy and keep everyone focused on him. Confident, carry a large. Okay, here's another thing. There's this. It doesn't feel as though he needs to be loud. Like he's very confident in what he's saying. And this is what I've seen. Anybody that does martial arts or has done martial arts or is relatively in fighting shape, mildly fighting shape, they're very, very competent in themselves. They don't feel the need to get big on somebody or threaten or whatever. They know that they can defend themselves and that's all they need. Whereas like a bully type of person, someone who, even if you're a big guy, even if you're strong, even if you can fight, there's still a lot of insecurity in you if you need to rabble rouse and fucking puff out your chest all the time. And I think that translates into George's stand-up. There's this calmness about it. There's this real calm confidence about it. Comedy flow, tags the shit out of his joke. Yeah, I'm stealing this from him too when I write. He just tags a lot. He's kind of like Bill Burr, where he'll makes the joke, and then it's got this and this and this and this, and it just keeps going. And if I understand his strategy correctly, I don't know, maybe this is just my strategy with it, but it's padding the joke. If the original punchline doesn't work, all of these tags is just going to keep you engaged. Those are all positive things. I don't know, at the time I couldn't think of anything negative to write. I'm sure there's negative shit, and I'm sure I'll say those negative things probably to him later, if not on this another time. But yeah, that was George, at least positive versions of George in a nutshell. So if any of those, if you're a comedian in the IE and you give a fuck about my opinion or my perception of things, and you want to work on any of the things I suggested, I would say, if you want to work on being present in the room and what it looks like to be confident on stage, to just be confident, then watch George. He is both of those things to a T. Present and confident. Yeah. Yeah. I ran the light, but it was fast. Yeah.